So the goal is I've been recording a video every day, uploading them as I can. Basically, upload one, when it's done I'll upload the other, and so some of these can be a few days late. Oh my gosh. But yeah, anyway, I'm free at the moment, heading to get some x-rays done on my back. I have scoliosis and degenerative disc and some other things going on, but they try to keep up. Sorry, my hair's crazy. They try to keep up with how my spine's kind of progressing over time, just to kind of, I guess, to know when or if I need to see a surgeon or whatever. I've done all the physical therapy I can do, and nothing, you know, it bothers me, but it don't. Like, I guess I've lived with it so long that I just don't give a shit anymore. But this video isn't about me. This video is actually, I wanted to address food allergies, and there's a reason for that. If you do not have food allergies, or you do not have somebody close to you or somebody that you care for, like a child in your life that actually has food allergies, you know, I don't expect you to understand. And here's the thing, there are so many people that don't deal with it, that instead of just not saying anything because they're not educated on the fact, they decide to be assholes and talk shit because they don't believe that there's any way that we have so many food allergies nowadays that's just recently came around. Some of them didn't even know what a gluten was. Well, here's the thing. I do know that a lot of so-called gluten allergies are not real. Gluten allergy actually destroys your digestive tract in a way. I want to say it was the intestines that I was told, but it actually can cause, I'm gonna get away from this truck. It actually can cause it can cause like bad damage if you have a real gluten allergy and you eat gluten. Like, not only does it make you sick, but I mean, it physically damages your body. But there are a lot of people that have fake gluten allergies. They may be gluten intolerant, but that's not an allergy. You can still eat it and it's not going to kill you and it's not going to hurt you. And here's the reason why. I mean, you've got to understand that I've been dealing with this. My son is 10, and we found out when he was 3 or 4. But and he doesn't have a gluten allergy. None of us in the house do. But I have learned that a lot of people assume that they have gluten allergies because they will have all the atypical symptoms. My daughter has all the atypical symptoms of a gluten allergy, but she's not allergic to it. The thing is most gluten foods are foods that aren't healthy for you to begin with, like fried foods. So if you're having digestive issues and you think that it's gluten and you cut it out of your diet and all of a sudden you feel better, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have an allergy to it. When you cut out all of the bad stuff out of your diet, or most of it, you're going to feel better whether you're allergic to it or not. You really need to look up the symptoms of a gluten allergy. Secondly, so part of it is due to how our food is treated and processed now. And another issue with it is actually the fact that, you know, like when I was a kid, we went outside, we played in the mud, we played in the dirt. Nobody gave a shit. They weren't worried about us dying or anything like that. And that actually helps build immunity when you're exposed to things over and over and over again. Well, we've become a society where everything has to be so clean, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being clean. But when you cannot get exposed to certain things, then your body's immune system, and that's all that an allergy really is. It has something to do with your immune system. Your immune system picks it up, and to it, it's like it's a foreign object, so it overreacts, which is when it creates histamines, and then you have an allergy, or an allergy attack, whatever. It has nothing to do with parents being over precautious, and I'm sick and tired of seeing the dumbass memes about the shit, because it's always from people who don't know, and people who say, well, if you have a kid with food allergies, then you just need to eat at home. Excuse me, that's not always possible. My son is allergic to milk, all mammal milk. He couldn't even take breast milk, but he was allergic to milk, eggs, whites, and yolks, and he is allergic to corn. Plus he has a ton of environmental allergies. It makes for a really hard time, especially when the kid's favorite thing is corn and milk. But he likes his almond milk, so it's not a big deal. The corn has been a big thing for him to lose, because that was a really hard one for him, but he was staying sick. He wasn't really thriving. It was going beyond just intestinal problems. He was starting to have more breathing problems and regular allergy issues. So when I found out, we started cutting everything out, and now he's doing so much better. He's gaining weight. He's eating better. He's not having as many reactions. The thing is people need to stop assuming that food allergy kids have just overprotective parents and they're faking it. Some of us have spent literally thousands of dollars, and I couldn't tell you how many trips to specialists and doctors to figure out what's going on with their kid when they can't eat without vomiting, or they're not gaining any weight, or they're always sick. It has nothing to do with us being overprotective. It has everything to do with us being a parent and wanting our child 100% better. So stop the ignorance, and if you don't know anything about food allergies, don't talk on it. A lot of places are more aware of people with food allergies. They're starting to address this on their menus, on their front doors, at the drive-through windows, whatever. Some are even changing some things. But it's also gotten so bad for fake allergies where people will be like, oh, I can't have this, I'm gluten, so can we trade it for this? But then they sit there and eat a whole basket of rolls. You can't eat a whole basket of rolls if you have a gluten allergy. So some higher restaurants or nicer restaurants have noticed this, and they've started having to upcharge, because it does cost them more to let us substitute when we have somebody with an allergy. So when you've got people going in there, and just because they don't want it in their food, they say they're allergic to it. You should never do that. Just be honest. Because all you're doing is causing a headache for people like me and my child who really have food allergies. I'm allergic to shellfish, but he's allergic we think he's allergic to fish too. He's only ate it once. He ate a half piece of fish and had welts across his stomach and his chest. The doctor just said, just to be safe, I just wouldn't give it to him again, so we haven't been. But we can't eat every single meal at home. It is impossible to do, especially when you have kids that are active. My kids like sports. My daughter's in band camp right now, and they're feeding her there. I'll pick her up for dinner. But my son plays soccer, he plays football, he wrestles. And it's impossible some of those days to eat at home, because we're spending 2 or 3 hours at a gym or at a field, and by the time we get done, when it's time to eat, if I go home and cook, then it's going to put us in bed at 11. So it's easier for us to eat out. So stop your assumption that you know better than I do. In most places, if I tell them straight up, he has an allergy, they are very, very, very careful what they do to not even cross-contaminate. Now, I don't think, I don't know if he's ever been sick from cross-contamination. If he has, I've never seen it. Or he has, and I've never really noticed it because of, I don't know. Sometimes when he goes out with us, if he's gotten a hold of something that has touched something else that he's allergic to. So, yes, food allergies are a real thing. Saying some of the things that people say that don't know anything about them is very rude. It is a stereotype. Plus, it just makes you look just ignorant because you're speaking on something that you don't even know. If you don't deal with it, you're not gonna know. And I totally get that. And you know what I do when there's a subject about something that I don't know? I don't talk about it or ask questions. I don't make rude assumptions and comments or post stupid ass fucking memes. People just stop. It isn't easy to deal with. Some of you all that watch my videos has seen us at the shot clinic and stuff. Yeah, my daughter has to go for environmental allergies as well. But yeah, it isn't necessarily a new thing. It's just things that have progressed over time, and I think a lot of it has to do with how they treat our foods, and then on top of how clean everything is. Not that that's a bad thing, but they have to be exposed to certain things before they can build up immunities. Anyway, I have to go in here and get my x-rays. You guys have a good day.